Hello students, hope you all are good at home. This side your science teacher Kamna ma'am. Welcome back to my fourth video on chapter 11 nutrition in plants. So first let's have a short recap of the last session. We learnt about nutrition. It is the process of taking in food and its utilization by living organisms. Then I explained about autotrophic nutrition by taking an example of green plants that they prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. And then we discussed about the site of photosynthesis, that is leaves, and its two important functions. First is it contains chloroplast that contain a green pigment known as chlorophyll that is used to absorb the sunlight, and second is stomata. These are small tiny pores help in exchange of gases. So let's start our today's topic, importance of photosynthesis. Now here I am showing you a food plate. Think how many of them are obtained from plants as a raw material. So here is rice, chapati made from wheat, potato, chili, onion and two different type of vegetable and cooking oil. All are obtained from plants. So we can say the food which we get from plants are the stored food items prepared by plant by the process of photosynthesis. Next importance is medicines. There is a variety of medicines extracted from flowering plants and other herbs. For example, holy basil or tulsi is used in cough syrup. And tropical rainforests are the main source of medicinal plants. Next is habitat. Plants provide habitat to more than 50% of the world's species of plants and animals. Photosynthesis play a very important role in balancing of atmospheric gases. Now we can see there is a balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in our environment. This can only be achieved through respiration and photosynthesis. We exhale carbon dioxide during respiration and plants intake carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. Similarly, while we inhale oxygen during respiration, plants release oxygen during photosynthesis. Thus, level of carbon dioxide and oxygen is balanced in nature. Next is SS, in which there are some questions for you. Question number 1. Which is the important storage compound in the leaves? Answer is starch. Second question, name the pores in leaves through which exchange of gases take place. Answer is stomata. Next question, which gas is released during photosynthesis? Answer is oxygen. Next question, which solution is used to test the presence of starch in a substance? Answer is iodine. Next, name the pigment found in leaves of the plant which absorb energy from the sun. Answer is chlorophyll. Now next is cyberlink, in which information regarding euglena is given. Actually, euglena is a plant animal, means it has both plant as well as animal character. If I talk about plant character, it contains chloroplast and that contain chlorophyll. So during the daytime it performs photosynthesis and behave as autotrophs. And now what are autotrophs? That can make their own food. And if I talk about its animal character, it lacks cell wall and during the night it behave as heterotrophs, means which depend on other for their food. So euglena is a mixotrophic organism. Now why mixotrophic? Because it has mixed characteristic of both autotrophic as well as heterotrophic organism. Now next is heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Actually, some plants are not able to carry out photosynthesis and thus depend on other organisms for nutrition. But some plants, even though they contain chlorophyll and carry out photosynthesis, still they depend on other organisms for certain nutrients. So such type of mode of nutrition in which an organism depend on other organism for their nutrition is known as heterotrophic nutrition, and the organism which follow this type of nutrition, they are known as heterotrophs. Actually, heterotrophs are of four types: parasitic plants or parasites, saprotrophs or saprophytes, insectivorous plants, and the last one is symbiotic plants. So first is insectivorous plant. As the name suggests, insectivorous means insect eating plants. So there are some plants that eat insect to fulfill their need of nitrogen nutrient as they grow in the nitrogen deficient soil. They are known as insectivorous plant. Actually, these plants undergo photosynthesis process, but still they are heterotrophs because they eat insect. For example, Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. Next is saprophytic plants. Saprophytic plants obtain their nutrients from dead and decaying plants and animal matter. It is usually whitish, but some plants can have brightly colored flowers. These plants usually have no leaves at all, and they usually grow in a tropical forest in deep shade. For example, mushroom, Indian pine, and coral root. The roots of saprophytic plants contain an organism known as fungi. The fungi convert the dead and decaying matter into nutrients, and that can be used as food by these plants. Fungi is also known as saprotroph. Next is Think Science. Here is one question for you. There are two boys, Anand and Akshit, collected two samples of water from different water bodies to grow aquatic plants into them. Which water body would contain the largest number of fully submerged aquatic plants and why? Actually, fully submerged plants are found in large number in pond because the combination of shallow water, sunlight, and nutrient-rich sediment make the pond ideal habitat for submerged vegetation. Now for your more help, I have prepared few in-between question answers. Copy them in your notebook and learn them, and try to make some more in-between question answer and read the chapter thoroughly. Thank you. That's all for today.